All right, so the tips and tricks document is separated into 3 different parts. First thing that I want to call out is this page format that you see right now is called a pageless format in Google Docs. If you haven't played around with it yet, highly recommend it. You can go to File, you can go to Page Setup, and you can choose Pageless, click OK, and go from there. But essentially what this does, the pageless document turns a Word doc into like a web page almost, which is really nice. And it comes with a few perks. One of them being that you can condense or collapse headers as if they are accordion folders. So if you are brand new to this pageless document and you find yourself in the Canvas virtual classroom and you're like, where is the information for this? Hovering your cursor over the header name and then clicking on this expand icon, this right-facing arrow icon, will show you all the information in that section. You can collapse the header by clicking the same icon and going forward. So headers, really nice way to kind of visually organize and condense some of the content that you have. But all that being said, let's actually talk about the different sections. Now, this first section, the Learning Online section, contains information related to exactly that. It has all the information that we currently have put together that we think will help you generally get acclimated to learning in a totally online asynchronous degree program. Now, this first part is going to be the text format of the video series that you just watched earlier. This is really nice because from the community course, like we just saw in the last video, you can quickly pull up the tips and tricks. So if you forgot something about how to switch between the different list views, how to get your Canvas to-do list, as it were. Collapsing this header section will show you all the information related to the list view, dashboard layout, the Canvas calendar, the course summary, etc. So this first Canvas thing is really good for kind of the reminders of like, how is this designed? How can you view the information? Where can you find the stuff that you want to find? Time management and general well-being. Switching to a totally online degree program is, I am sure, going to be something brand new for a lot of us. And so I've talked about this already, but you can always expect to have about 20 hours of work a week for your coursework. Now, if you're only enrolled in one class, like say, for example, Theory and Practice of Creative Leadership, all 20 hours are dedicated to that class. So you can expect in Theory and Practice to spend 20 hours a week just on Theory and Practice. Now come fall, when you're enrolled in Otto's course and my course, you still have 20 hours of work to do. However, 10 hours are going to be spent on Otto's course, 10 hours are going to be spent on my course. So if you're relatively new to managing your time, or you are somebody who, like me, suffers a little bit from procrastination, this section includes really, we hope, very beneficial and helpful recommendations and advice for beginning to plan and manage your time, to make sure that you are actually blocking out 10 hours or 20 hours worth of time to complete the work that you have. We have some general advice. We have, again, pointing back to the Canvas to-do list because it's been a fan favorite for our students. And then a couple of time management strategies. So the Kanban board is actually one that I use really with a lot of success, that I love a lot. Time boxing is another one that's been very popular with our students as well. And then finally, we have some information about how you can manage your digital well-being. Transitioning into an fully online program is going to be a learning experience for a lot of us, right? It's probably a different way of kind of interacting with course content. There's a lot more self-motivation. There's a lot more self-driven work. There's a lot more holding ourselves accountable to completing the work that we're doing. We no longer have the benefit of knowing that at 5 p.m. I have to sit in this classroom with this professor, which means I need to have this thing done. We now are the people keeping ourselves accountable. So this is going to be a learning process, and allow yourself to learn as you're kind of acclimating to the online environment, I guess is what I'm saying. This section is going to have a lot of great tips for helping get you started. Reading and writing at a graduate level, again, probably going to be a little bit different than what you experienced in undergrad, maybe what you're doing currently in your day-to-day work, your day-to-day life, etc. This section, we provide some guidance on critically engaging with media. So one of our favorite frameworks right now, or one of the frameworks we use frequently, is a critical media literacy framework, which is explained here. It gives you some good questions to consider as you begin reading texts that you're assigned. The SQ3R framework, and incredibly helpful. You are going to notice you have a lot of reading that you need to complete. Incredibly helpful for kind of sifting through and learning how to critically read a text in a way that doesn't take 57 hours to do. Establishing a writing practice, again, some guidance for how you go about, how we recommend going about having a writing practice, and then additional resources and tools. Organizing and archiving your work, I cannot stress this enough, but everything in the MA Creative Leadership Program is very, very, very interwoven. So you're going to notice by the time you get to capstone in semester 4 that a lot of the work that you did in Adel's course, in my course, in Kylie's course, in MJ's course is going to manifest itself again. So keeping a good organized file system of your assignments, of your course notes, of your course content is really going to pay off by the time you get to that capstone course in semester 4. That's a short-term benefit. Long-term benefit is, unfortunately, you will not have access to your MCAT account forever. And so keeping a diligent archive of your work as you go through the program means that by the time you come and graduate, you will have a nice little archive of work that you can download, save, and bring with you to all your future studies. So please archive your work. All of your courses are going to give you reminders to archive your work. If you need help archiving your work, please let us know, and we're happy to help you with that. Okay, so that's all learning online, generally getting started, time management tips, organizing tips, etc., reading and writing tips, right? The second part of the tips and tricks is specifically related to helping hone, create, build your creative voice. Now, the side note that I'm going to give here is you aren't in the MA graphic and web design program, right? You're not here to learn how to be motion designers, web designers, graphic designers. And so the visual design, layout, composition of your work isn't going to be critiqued the same way that a motion designer's work is going to be critiqued. However, we do ask for a certain level of polish, of cohesion, of continuity in your style. We ask for we ask for intention in the design that you're putting together, thoughtfulness in the design that you're putting together. And we encourage you to create kind of a unified visual identity as you go through the program so that you have that sense of cohesion. Now, if you don't consider yourself a very creative type just yet, or maybe you're new to graphic design, or maybe you don't really know how to create or get started, nice thing here is we have created some places where you can go and find visual inspiration. We have also provided, you'll find some general slide presentation templates, document templates, additional slide templates that you are more than welcome to use, remix, get started with. So we have inspiration, we have advice for how to create, edit, and share media. This isn't going to require you to know the Adobe Creative Suite. We try to use, relatively user-friendly, intuitive platforms. We have templates for you to get started, advice for where you can go and find photos and illustrations and music if you want to add music to your stuff. And then finally include information about skill building. So even though you're not required to use the Adobe Creative Suite to create a presentation, if you're very interested in learning how to use InDesign, we have information for how to learn InDesign. We have information for how you can enroll in our CE courses, because remember, you do get at least one free, I believe, CE course, one complimentary CE course per semester based on availability. So if you wanted to use that to kind of build out your graphic design artistic toolbox, you're welcome to do that. But again, in summary, this developing your creative style and voice is really trying to get you started with feeling comfortable creating, designing, editing, and sharing multimedia. And then finally, the last part of this video is, and last part of this, this document includes an ongoing development section. So we polled all of the instructors in the program and we said, where is your favorite place to go for ongoing development? Maybe that's podcasts, emails, websites, etc. And we have a growing list here. So all of the information here is basically where we go to find our information on an ongoing basis. This might be more appropriate or come in more useful as you're entering into your capstone course where you're beginning to actually do and put into practice your community change projects. Might also be useful in your day-to-day professional practice. If you have a site here that you always go to, like if you are religiously a Harvard Business Review kind of human, or you really like Leadermorphosis, I think that's already on the list. But if you have a site, a person, a journal, an article, whatever that you like to go and get information from, add it in the comments and we are more than happy to add it to the list as well. With everything else that we've created, and I know I said this in the last video, this is entirely to help support your academic journey, your academic growth, your professional growth throughout the program. As you're going through the program, if you are realizing having an additional tutorial, having an additional resource, having additional guidelines would be helpful, please, again, send me an email, and I am more than happy to incorporate your suggestions into the design of the tips and tricks. For now, take some time, please, if you haven't already, to scroll through, read the different content. Again, this learning online, I think, is going to honestly be the most helpful leading into your theory and practice course, especially the section on time management and reading and writing at the graduate level. I think those will really help you out. really, really help you out. And then when you are done skimming through this, make sure you scroll up to the top of this assignment in Canvas and mark it as complete before moving on to the video about the FAQ document.